Hello everyone, welcome to Science Mania. Today we're going to do the class 7th, chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. So first we're going to do the introduction, then the different ways of taking food, then digestion in humans, then digestion in grass-eating animals, and then feeding and digestion in amoeba. So let's talk about the introduction first. So you know that every living organism depends on plants for its nutrition. Hence, plants are the ultimate source of food for every living organism. Every living organism depends on plants for its nutrition, directly or indirectly. Let's talk about the different ways of taking food. Everyone eats in a different manner. So, a bee sucks the nectar from the flower. The cow sucks the milk. The snake swallows its prey. Some humans eat like this and some eat like this. So everyone has their different ways of taking food. But what are the things that make our food? So the carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fats. And fibers and water are also very important for us. Now let's talk about what is digestion. So the breakdown of complex substances into simpler substances is called digestion. So you see, this is a large molecule, this is a complex substance. It is broken down after digestion, it is broken down into smaller molecules. And when it is broken down into smaller molecules, energy is produced. Let's talk about digestion in humans now. How does the food get digested in humans? The food in the humans gets digested in the digestive system, and the digestive system contains of the alimentary canal and the secretory glands. What is the alimentary canal and what are the secretory glands? Alimentary canal is the tract by which our food passes. The alimentary canal starts with the buccal cavity, then it goes through the esophagus, the stomach, then the small intestine, then the large intestine, and then out through the anus. So you see this? It will go from the mouth, then through the esophagus, then through the stomach, then the small intestine, then the large intestine, and then out through the anus. So the pancreas, the liver, and the salivary glands are the three secretory glands in our body. The secretory glands help to secrete the digestive juices that are needed for digestion. So the pancreas, the liver, and the salivary glands. But how does digestion happen? So as I told you, first the food goes through the buccal cavity, that is your mouth. Then it goes through the esophagus, then through the stomach, then to the small intestine, to the large intestine, and then out through the anus. And you see this reddish brown gland over here, this is the liver. Now let's talk about the buccal cavity, that is our mouth. So the digestion starts from the buccal cavity. And in the buccal cavity, there are three things that help to digest the food: the teeth, the tongue, And the salivary glands. The salivary gland is one of the secretory glands. The salivary gland secretes saliva. The process of intake of food is known as ingestion. So when we put our food in the mouth, when we put the food in our body, that process is known as ingestion. Then the food is chewed by our teeth. Let's talk about the salivary glands now. So the salivary glands secrete saliva. The saliva is one of the juices, the digestive juices that we want for digestion. The saliva mixes with the food and then it moistens the food for swallowing it easily. Then it breaks down the starch to sugar. So the starch is a type of a carbohydrate and then it is converted into sugar. So you see this is the starch molecule. The starch is a type of a carbohydrate. So this is the starch molecule. And after digestion, it converts into small sugar molecules. So what did I tell you? Digestion is the process in which complex substances form into simpler substances. So this is a large molecule and after digestion it is broken down into smaller molecules and energy is produced. And let me tell you, carbohydrates give us instant energy. Let's talk about the tongue now. The tongue helps to mix the food, then it helps to swallow the food and it helps to taste the food. Let's talk about the types of teeth now. But I have a question for you. Do you have the same teeth that you had when you were 1 or 2 years old? No, right? You know that all of your teeth had fallen off and the new permanent ones have come. So the teeth that had fallen off are known as milk teeth and the new permanent teeth that have come are known as the permanent teeth. So the incisors, the canines, the premolars and the molars are the 4 types of permanent teeth that we have in our mouth. So you see this? In the front teeth that you have are the incisors. Then the vampire teeth that you have just beside the incisors are known as the canines. And after that are the premolars and after that are the molars. You see, this is how the incisor look, this is how the canine look. So this is the premolar and this huge one is the molar. But why do we want such a huge variety of teeth in our mouth? Why do we just don't have incisors or just canines in our mouth? That's because each of the type of teeth that we have in our mouth has its own uses. So the incisors are used for cutting and biting the food. So when you bite an apple, you bite it with the front teeth, right? So this is the front teeth that you have. When you bite an apple, you bite it with the front teeth, right? So the canines are used for tearing food. Have you ever seen a dog or a lion eating flesh? They tear the food. So by the teeth which they tear the food, that teeth is known as the canines. Let's talk about the premolars and the molars now. They are used for grinding and chewing the food. After the digestion is done in the mouth, all the food that we have is made into a ball and that ball is known as the bolus. Then the food comes to the esophagus. So you see this tube right here. this is the esophagus, and this one as well. So this is the esophagus. What do you think? The food ball, does it just drop down from the esophagus like it is doing in this picture? No, that does not happen. You see this? This is the bolus. Do you see the contraction and the relaxation happening? Look how it is happening. The food pipe, the muscles of the food pipe are contracting, then they are relaxing. And this process is known as peristalsis. Then, after peristalsis, the food comes to the stomach. So, the stomach is a J-shaped organ. Do you see a J? And it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. In the stomach, the digestive juices are secreted. And the digestive juice that is secreted in the stomach is known as the hydrochloric acid. This is used to digest the food in the stomach. In the stomach, the proteins are absorbed. So, in the mouth, the carbohydrates were converted into sugar. In the stomach, the proteins. But it is an acid. It can burn our stomach. The hydrochloric acid is an acid. Then why doesn't our stomach get burned? It is because of mucus, also known as mucosa. So the stomach is made up of many layers. The innermost layer of the stomach is known as the mucus. It is coated with mucus. So you see, this is the stomach. This is coated with mucus. Do you see? Then the food comes to the small intestine. The small intestine is highly coiled and it is about 7.5 meters long. It is that long, but it doesn't look that long because it is highly coiled. It gets the digestive juices from the liver and the pancreas. But with the secretions from the liver and the pancreas, the wall of the small intestine also secrete the digestive juices. So, the liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. So, you see, this is the liver, this reddish brown gland. So this is the liver and this is situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. So the liver is the largest gland in the body and the digestive juice that it secretes is known as the bile juice. And the bile juice is stored in a sac called a gallbladder. So you see this green colored sac. So this is the gallbladder. And the gallbladder stores the bile juice. The bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. So the carbohydrates were digested in the mouth. The proteins were digested in the stomach. Now the fats are being digested in the small intestine with the help of the bile juice. Now let's talk about the pancreas. The pancreas is a large cream colored gland located just below the stomach. So you see this organ just under the stomach, behind the stomach. This one, yeah, this is the pancreas. You see it's cream colored. So the pancreatic juice acts on the carbohydrates, the fats and the proteins and it makes them into simpler forms. So they are further made into simpler forms. They are further made into simpler substances. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine, and there the intestinal walls, the juice that came out from the walls of the small intestine I was talking about, they come on action now. What they do is they complete the digestion of all the components of food. So the fibers, the vitamins, the minerals, now all the digestion is done. The carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose. Fats get broken into fatty acids and glycerol. And proteins get into amino acids. The digested food can now pass into the blood vessels. So the digested food it will now pass from the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. So the blood vessels that are there in the walls of the intestine, the digested food will now go there and it will be absorbed. So this process is known as absorption. The inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths called villi. The villi increases the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Each villi has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food material. So you see, these are the villi and this is the innermost layer of the small intestine. The absorbed substances are transported via the blood cell vessels to different organs of the body where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. This process is known as assimilation. This process is known as assimilation. In the cells, glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and the energy is released. So in the cell, what happens is the glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen, carbon dioxide and water, and then the energy is released. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. So let's see what happens in the large intestine. The large intestine is wider and shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length and the small intestine was 7.5 meter in length. Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food material. So all the components of food, all of them were absorbed, all of them were digested. Now the water was remaining. Now the water is being absorbed in the large intestine. The remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid feces. The facial matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called egestion. So this process is known as egestion. Now let's talk about the digestion in grass-eating animals. Have you observed cows, buffaloes, and other grass-eating animals chewing continuously even when they are not eating? Actually, they quickly swallow the grass. So what happens is they eat the grass and as they eat it, they just quickly swallow it and they store it in a part of their stomach called the abdomen. So this hole is their stomach. So this is the stomach. And this green part over here, this one. So this green part over here is called the rumen. Is called rumen. Here the food gets partially digested, and after it is partially digested, it is known as cud. It is known as cud. But later the cud returns to the animal's mouth in small pieces, in small lumps, and the animal chews it. This process is known as rumination, and the animals which do rumination are known as ruminants. Are known as ruminants. The grass that the grass-eating animals eat is rich in cellulose, and cellulose is a type of a carbohydrate. In ruminants like cattle, deer, etc., bacteria present in the rumen. So in the rumen, there is a bacteria present that helps in the digestion of cellulose. Many animals, including humans, cannot digest cellulose. So only the ruminants have the bacteria, and only they can digest the cellulose. That is why we can't eat grass. Animals like horses, rabbit, etc. have a large sac-like structure called cecum. So here is the cecum. So it is between the esophagus and the small intestine. Here. The cellulose of the food is digested here by the action of the certain bacteria which are not present in the humans. So remember the bacteria I was talking about? So the bacteria is present in the cecum, which helps to digest the cellulose. So far, you have learned about animals which possess the digestive system. But there are many small organisms which do not have a mouth and do not have a digestive system as well. Then how do they digest their food? How do they eat their food? How do they get their nutrition? Let's see that. So now we're going to talk about the feeding and digestion in amoeba. So amoeba is a microscopic single-celled organism. So this microscopic organism only has one cell, and it is found in the pond water. Amoeba has a cell membrane. Amoeba has a cell membrane, a rounded dense nucleus, and many small bubble-like vacuoles in its cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is basically the whole surface of the amoeba, and the vacuoles. So you see here the food vacuoles, and these are the bubble-like vacuoles. Amoeba constantly changes its shape and position. So it is not in one shape. It keeps changing its shape and position. So what it does, it pushes out one or more finger-like projections called cytopedia. So you see these finger-like projections. Yeah. So these finger-like projections are called cytopedia. And what they do is they help to capture the food. How? So amoeba feeds on some microscopic organisms. So when it sees that, for example, this is the food, it sees some food, then what will it do? It will take out in cytopedia, and then the cytopedia will go and it will catch the food. And then the food becomes trapped in a food vacuole. So you see this, these are the food vacuoles, and this is where the food is being trapped. So then They also have the amoeba also has digestive juices, and the digestive juices are secreted in the food vacuole. The digestive juices act on the food and break it down into simpler substances. Gradually, the digested food is absorbed. The absorbed substances are used for growth, maintenance, and multiplication. The undigested residue of the food is expelled outside by the vacuole. And now I wanted to tell that I have made a quiz for you. So you can go to the description box. You'll find the link for the quiz there. Okay, so all the best. And thank you for watching. That's all for today. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If you haven't, then subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubts or you want a video on any topic, then please do let me know in the comment section below. Bye.